Hey, what's going on, guys? Just about that time. About to get it going out here. Make sure that y'all hit that like button when y'all pop in, man. Wherever y'all watching, Facebook, YouTube, all of that good stuff. Make sure that y'all hit the like button as you come in. Mm, mm. We out here. We out here. Right way indeed. Let me move this around. Boom. What is going on? What is going on, guys? Man, we are live, man. Back for another episode of the Wholesaler Mastermind podcast. As always, man. As always, let's go ahead and pause that music, man. We're going to go ahead and get it rocking and rolling now. Guys, man, look, like I said, make sure that y'all hit that like button as y'all coming into the stream, man. We are doing a live episode of the Wholesaler Mastermind podcast. And in this one, I'm glad to say I got my guy, one of my very first clients of all time. Once I started putting my content on YouTube, my guy, Jamal Rogers, man. He's a real estate investor himself. You know, he's out here doing a significant amount of different things. And we're going to be dropping some gems on y'all forehead tonight. Okay. So, like I said, man, make sure that y'all hit that like button, man. I'm going to bring my guy, Jamal, on and let him introduce himself. My guy, what's going on, bro?
What's going on?
Hey, all right, man. We out here chilling, bro. How's it going over there? How's it going?
It's going good, man. Blessed, man. Blessed. Going
Hey,
good. Can't complain.
hey, well, man, I'm glad to have you on to the podcast, bro. Just for everybody that may not know who you are, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the community, bro?
My name's Jamal Rogers. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. Born and raised, real estate investor, serial entrepreneur. Been doing real estate investing, I believe, by like the last 4 years. Now, after that, expanding into Turo, Airbnbs. Now I do business consulting where I help people get their credit together. Also help people get their business, structure their business the right way, and offer help with funding and things like that. So been doing that the last few years and helping people chase their dreams.
Hey, the right way indeed, bro. The right way indeed, man. So why don't you tell the audience, like, how did you end up getting started in the real estate wholesaling space? What brought you to wholesaler?
Well, it's an interesting story. So, like, at the beginning when I first got into real estate, I didn't know nothing about real estate, never heard of real estate wholesaling, and I was watching Breakfast Club, and I seen a guy on the name by the name of Mark Whitten, and he was talking about real estate wholesaling. So at this time, I would watch the Breakfast Club every morning, and I never seen anybody in there as an entertainer. I mean, nothing but entertainers. Never seen nobody as a business, so it stuck out to me. And then the way how he explained real estate wholesaling, it really stuck with me. So I'm like, man, this is something I want to do, because you always hear about something like not spending your money, making money. So I'm like, man, let me see if it's real. So I got into it. I joined this. He had something going on. And I joined it, but I wasn't really getting what I needed to get out. That's not nothing towards him or nothing like that. But I just didn't really feel what I was getting. I was working with another guy in my city of Cleveland, Ohio. We wasn't really getting anything accomplished. And I'm like, well, let me start diving into more about real estate wholesaling. And then I started getting on Facebook, and I was joining all these Facebook groups about real estate wholesaling. Nobody didn't give me the direction. I just started typing in all these different groups about wholesaling and connecting with different people. And then I came across this guy named Ed Hayes.
Hey.
And he was and he was always talking about, because I think I can remember it was a group what it was, but he was always answering everybody questions. So I'm like, man, this guy know what he's talking about. And then I think somebody asked you, was you starting a mentorship or something like that? And he was like, yeah. So I reached out to you, and you told me what it was, what your mentorship was. It was affordable. And I'm like, all right, man. I felt like at this time, if it's something that I want to do seriously, that I know that I want to do seriously, I got to invest in myself. So I took the money to go ahead and invest in myself. And I'm like, you know what? this is what I want to do. And then it was a lot of different hurdles in between time, but I can't say that, man, you changed my life, and I appreciate you.
Oh man, hey, that means a lot to me, bro. I really, really mean that, man, for real. So you say like you got out here, like a lot of people when I was just starting to put myself out there as a coach, damn near everybody I was talking to told me like, yeah, I just found out about wholesaling because of Mark Whitten. Like everybody was saying that. So that's pretty crazy, man. Shout out to Mark Whitten for, putting so many people onto the concept of wholesaling in the first place with that Breakfast Club interview. I made a whole video about that. It's like one of my most popular videos on the YouTube channel or whatever. That was a game changer. But yeah, man. So like you said that like so you were trying to get some stuff from like out of the coaching program or whatever, but then you end up coming across me basically. I know you had a lot of stuff going on at the beginning of us working together, bro. Maybe you can speak to that. Like what were some of the like early adversities that you faced like
Well,
coming to the real estate wholesaling space?
man, at the beginning, I could say it was I come from a background where a lot of people knew me in my city from selling shoes. I used to sell shoes to like a lot of entertainers and athletes in the city. Um, and a lot of people knew me from that. And there was a period of time where I had stopped doing that. And I just started doing drive and live. I felt like I wasn't in that space no more. I didn't want to do that no more. And then my license, I got suspended. And then when my license got suspended, it was like I couldn't do live. Everything, I felt like everything was stopping me from doing what I needed to do. So I'm like, you know what? I knew how my life was before, before, and I felt like I wanted to get back to where I was. So I felt like I was steady chasing something, and I knew I wanted to change. Like I said, I never heard of real estate, anything like that. And when I got into the real estate wholesaling, I never forget that I was dating a girl, and they were saying like, at the beginning, like reach out to your landlords and all these different things, like reach out to your landlord and to see if they want to buy some properties. And I never forget, it was two things. One time when I was driving lift, a guy was like, ain't you, a lot of people call me Sneaks. And the guy was like, Sneak, ain't you Sneaks? Like, what you doing driving lift? And it really messed me up. Like, dang, what am I doing driving lift? And then
Right.
fast forward, my license gets suspended. And then I hit my landlord up asking him, do he got some properties? Do he want to sell some properties or buy some properties? He like, man, you never gonna make no money from that. Like, I don't even know why you're doing that. You might as well get a regular job. So I'm like, dang. And at that time, I go tell my lady, I call her on the phone. I'm in the car upset. I'm like, dang, my landlord just said that. She's like, well, you know what? Maybe he right. I'm like, you know what? I'm like,
Whoa.
yeah, so it was like, it kind of like way messed me up. I'm like, dang, you know what? You ain't the one for me. But then, fast forward later on, like, that had to been probably like in, fast forward like a couple months later, then my mom ended up passing away. And once my mom passed, it made me look at everything differently, and at that time when she passed in that February of 2019, that January, I was already in the steps of trying to build my business. Because they say like get an LLC and all these different things. And
Right.
I was in the headspace, and I never forget I called you because I think we were supposed to be doing some stuff, and like you was going over stuff with me weekly. And it was like, man, I got out the relationship with my girl previously, but I also say at that time when me and my girl broke up, I felt like that was the best thing ever. Not like that. I know a lot of people will say that, but that relationship led me to God and started having me going to church and getting me real focused on where I need to get focused on. I believe that that relationship led me to prepare for my mom's death, for me to be able to take the next steps into my life. And I feel like, I had to have that heartbreak to be able to come to God and have God come in my life. And then everything changed for me. Like it went to a period where I was so used in business, people come to me from being in the streets and doing all these other things.
Right.
Like I started serving at the church, doing parking, talking to people, greeting people. And I just started noticing like my patience, like I would just, like God was just working on me. And I was pouring into God like heavy, where like I needed him. I wanted to search him. And I wasn't thinking about the money. I wasn't thinking about the girls. I was celibate. I was doing all these different things. And I just was so focused on God and getting my life together. And once I changed my life over, I started getting more focused in the wholesaling, and everything turned around.
Damn, that's so deep, bro. So it's like basically at the beginning of your wholesaling journey, and I was there with you, bro. So it's kind
Yeah.
of, it's like it's very interesting to me because I remember having these phone calls, like, man, like it's like you just split with your girlfriend. Your mom ended up unfortunately passing away a short time after that, and then it was just so much adversity, so much like stress, like honestly, bro, I commend you for keeping going after all of that stuff, because most people probably would have gave up, to be honest with you. They would have like, look, this is too much, I'll come back to this. But you just kept going. Like you just kept going, like you kept doing thing after thing after thing. But I do remember that important shift where you started going to the church more, you started
Yeah.
getting like, more religious, more spiritual and things like that. And like your entire life changed like so crazy, bro. Like I can actually speak to that myself because I literally watched that transition happen. It was absolutely amazing, bro. Like despite you going through so much adversity that would have caused so many other people to fail. but
Yeah, I
but
believe that the adversity make you. My bad for cutting you off.
no,
Like the
no, go ahead.
adversity, it made me stronger. It made me like I know you hear that a lot, but that's real. Like I think like sometimes with us, we don't pay attention to things have to hit us. And like it had to hit me. Like I hate to be that type of person, and I always been like I work harder when my back is against the wall.
Hmm.
And my mom used to always say before she passed, like I'm never worried about you. You like a cat, you land on your feet. So she's like, you always gonna figure it out. And I always kept that with me, no matter what I got going on. Like, it may not be the biggest house, the nicest car, but God provided a roof over my head. He provided somewhere for me to drive. It wasn't the right situation for
Hmm.
me. Well, I ain't gonna say right situation. It may have been what I wanted, but God still provided and made sure that I needed what I had. And I always look at it like this, like um, I just pay attention to that, and I move forward with that. So it's like, like God blessed me to be here. I didn't have to be here, so I just needed to
Hmm.
take, I needed to appreciate Him, appreciate me being here, and pour it to Him. And at that time, like my father, when I was going through all this stuff, my father had told me to read Proverbs chapter 3 for 30 days. And he said, I guarantee you to change your life. And I feel like a lot of people may feel like, when God changed your life, it's going to be money and all these, luxury stuff. But one of the main things I pray for God to change my mindset. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, the money will come as it come, but I didn't want to be so focused on the money and everything else around me. I wanted my mind to be free and clear, and I needed to forgive some people. I needed to let go some things, and once I was able to let go all the things that was on me, I was able to receive all the blessings that God had for me, and that's real.
Hey, nah. Dang, man, that's tough, bro, for real. Like, man, that's real deep, bro. So like what I want you to do is to like kind of tell the audience then, like despite all of the adversity, despite all of the stuff that kind of happened at the beginning of your wholesaling journey, like talk to like what does your business look like now, like in terms of the staff, stuff like that or whatever. Like what does it actually look like now?
Okay, right now as a business, I'm still doing wholesaling. Honestly, like everybody that's on here, I'm assuming that everybody who do wholesaling. The last 2 years, I've been honestly been doing JVs. I know a lot of people talk about they don't do JVs, but in the beginning of my wholesale journey, since deals like even like with all the adversity, with all the personal stuff, I still went through adversity in the wholesale business. So yes, God changed my life, but I still was struggling with wholesale. I mean, like I couldn't get no deals, I couldn't
Mm,
get nothing under contract. So since I couldn't get nothing under contract, I just like, you know what? It didn't dawn on me that I needed to find buyers, but buyers, it just happened that I ended up finding buyers. So I just
mhm,
looked at like, all right, well, since I wasn't getting no deals, let me connect with other wholesalers. Let me connect with other buyers. Let me see what they want. Because I wasn't able to get anything under contract. It had a lot to do with me not being comfortable with me talking to people too. Because I remember you used to always say, like, you got to be probably talking to like at least 100 people a day. At that time,
mhm,
like, I ain't really trying to talk to nobody like that. So, like, that held me back from my business too. And there was a period of
mhm,
time I was working with somebody in the city in Cleveland, being more hands on. And I never forget, like we would go to church, we'd spend some good time with each other. He like, Ma, we good friends, but I don't want to do no business with you. And that kind of messed
mm,
me up. I'm thinking like that. We friends. What you mean you don't want to do no business with me? He like, you ain't focused, you ain't serious. So I needed that too, because it was like, all right, I need to get focused. I pay the mentor that I'm talking to, and I'm not
Mhm.
really like doing what I need to do. All the information, all the stuff that he pouring into me, like I can't make no excuses. Yeah, my mom passed. Yeah, my mom gone. Yeah, my girl gone. All these different things. I,
Mhm.
I had to get busy, and once I started getting busy, I was able to build a buyers list. And then my one friend from church, he was like, "You do wholesaling?" Like, yeah. And he's like, "I'm gonna send you some properties." He sent me a couple properties, got rid of them like that, and
Mm.
we started building a relationship like that. And I was able to start getting some properties going, and everything just started flowing. And I just started basically like focused. Like the first few years I was doing all my deals like back and forth. Like I would get some of my properties under my contract for myself, then I was
Mm.
still JV. Like I never left doing JV because I was always able to build buyers lists up. And now right
Mm.
now, like I just had a closing today, and one of my friends, he sent it over to me, and we was able to close the deal. So people now, they come to me for me to close their deals, so
Nice.
they know I can get it done. That's just real talk.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So like,
So basically, JV is kind of like your main marketing strategy.
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, excuse me. So the topic of this particular podcast is building relationships, right? So,
Yeah.
what would you say, bro, is like the most important relationships that a wholesaler should be trying to go out there and establish if they're trying to get started out here?
I believe the best thing is to be yourself and not try to be something that you're not. In this business, what I learned, yes, you are a real estate investor. I don't lie to nobody. I keep it honest. Like I let them know, like either I'm in a position I will buy your property, but I do work with other investors to buy properties. Um, I learned a lot of things in this business that a lot of people do just to get something under a contract. Like a lot of people, they would just get a deal, but the deal may be a bad deal just to have something that they can say they have under contract. So my thing is, I would tell somebody is to be yourself and network with other people. Get out the box. Do something that's unordinary. Run towards what you're scared of. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
me, I hate networking. I hate going to things like that, but I will go to them in a minute because I know I need to introduce myself. I know I need to let people know who I am. Like I'm not a suit and tie person, so what you see what I got on is what is me. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just
Mhm.
this is who I am. So I don't want nobody to judge me. But at the end of the day, I can sit and talk to the best of them and be like, look, my name is Jamal Rogers. I'm a real estate investor in Cleveland, Ohio. I come across properties, I buy properties, I sell properties. Like I let myself be known where I was at, and I was everything that was going on, I was available and I was there. And I made sure that my presence was there, and I made sure that I was able to connect with different people. And I think people gravitated towards me, and they felt like they always wanted to do business with me. And then I always connected with good wholesalers in the city. Like you have some bad
Mhm.
ones, but the people that I connected with, they had relationships. So by me being able to close with their deals, they trusted me. So by them trusting me, they was able to send me more deals. So
Right.
and the thing is, I never wanted to get into no daisy chain. I see somebody ask what a JV, a joint venture, which is when you joint venture. So like me and Ed, I have a property, he have a buyer for it. We break it down. We joint venture on that deal. Now you could pick to choose if you want to do 50% on my JV deals. If I'm doing it with one, I don't try to do it more than two people or really one person, but we break everything down. Some people may I had deals where, person wanted a certain percentage, but we do everything 50-50, or if it's three ways, whatever it is, three ways. We
Mhm.
do it just like that, but joint venture. So um, I just got, like I said, I ain't gonna say because I got so focused on that, and that had helped my business because I end
Mhm.
up doing other things. Once I start getting into the wholesaling and I started making some money in wholesaling, I focused on my credit, and then once my
Mhm.
credit start getting better, I started to realize, you know what? I'm spending all this money using my wholesaler money. Yeah, I'm getting good money, but I need to start focusing on my credit. Like, because at the end of the day, like you can have all this money, but if your credit ain't good, it ain't nothing. So I
Mhm.
started working on my credit, and once I started working on my credit, I was able to see the advantage that I could do, like as far as like traveling, renting cars, even buying properties off your, well, now on the business card, but at the time, like I was leveraging a lot of my credit. Then once I started to be able to do that, I figured I felt like I had a blueprint that I could do, and I ended up dropping a credit repair ebook for people to do it themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Because it was the tools I did. Like I'm a person that, yes, all those adversities happened to me. I had two bankruptcies on my credit report. It
mm,
was a period of time like when I was driving Lyft. When at the time when I was driving Lyft, I didn't have a checking account. So I tell people I used to have my best friend um, take my. I used to have my best friend when my money get deposited, had to go deposit into her checking account because I couldn't get a checking account. Like that's how
damn.
bad my credit score was. I was in the 400. So like I'm one of those type of people. I'm telling you everything that I went through, that I was going through, so for people to know, like, yes, I can do this too. Like, yes, I had two bankruptcies, credit 400s, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff. And once I was able to figure that out, I got into that space and started focusing on helping people get their credit together. And then I started focusing on leveraging. Once I was able to learn the leverage game, to not to be able to spend my own money, I'm like, all right,
Mhm.
well, I'm not about to spend my money. So whatever I want, if it's the car that I want, I start doing tour rolls. So I start getting multiple cars, but I could drive the car that I wanted. I wanted to live in a nice place. So I started doing Airbnbs, but I could have that pay for my
Mm,
Airbnbs. And then once I started all the wholesaling money that I was getting, I just felt that let me save this. So now that if I want to buy a property, fix and flip or put down, I focus on building business credit up, which is separate than personal credit. Now I could go ahead and put a down payment on my business credit card or my Amex or something, and I
mm.
had to use my own credit. I mean, I had to use my own money. So
Hey,
like
man.
like right now in the process, me and my guy, we just put a bid on the property now, using the credit card. So like I just focus on all these different things, man. And I was always one of those people that's eager, like like I'd be thirsty for like success or something like that. And I got into credit mentorships, business mentorships, and I feel like you had to invest in yourself. Like I'm probably didn't spent up to probably $20,000 in mentorships, and that's
Mm,
probably listen to my other investors. Other mentors, they spend more than that. But I feel like you got to pay to play. I know that may sound crazy, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to get things to the next level, yes, you could get a lot of free tools and things like that. But I wanted to be hands on with somebody, and for somebody to be able to help me, teach me to get to the next level. And so I invest into these mentorships, and these mentorships, I instantly made my money back right away. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? It showed me how to do other things, other strategies. Now, with that happening last year, me and my guys, we got together. We did events in the city called Everybody Eats, where we talked about financial literacy. We did two of them in the city last year, where we did financial literacy for free. Didn't charge nobody nothing. We had food, we had all vendors, did all this for the city for free. And I believe nobody ever did nothing like that. And like I was the real estate person, had somebody talking about credit, had somebody talking about business, Airbnb, Soros, showing the community that there's other businesses out here, other things that you could do to be able to get income coming in, passive income coming in. So we was able to do that. And now, right
mm.
now, moving forward, like I started my own thing called It's Your Time. So I just feel like we at a point where we could have our own kings and queens in our own community.
Mm. So it sounds like man, you got a lot of stuff going on, man. Like obviously, wholesaling has translated into significantly more to you than just doing wholesaling and real estate or whatever. You've been able to kind of push out that influence and like start up other businesses and things like that, leveraging your
Yeah.
wholesaling income. But real quick though, like before like we get to whatchamacallit, whatever, I just want to make sure. So in terms of like the most important like relationships, right? It sounds like at the beginning of that or whatever, it sounded like that you would say like the most important relationships that someone should be going out there and trying to get, at least in your opinion, would be like getting your buyers list together and also reaching out to other wholesalers who already have deals under contract.
Yeah, because I feel like I know a lot of people say they don't like JVing. I used to hear that a lot in my business in my city because at the end of the day, it is a lot of people that do this business, and it is a lot of cutthroats, and people can't cut you out of deals and a lot of shady things. I didn't seen it, haven't had that much happen to me, but I don't think about the negative. So I just always just try to feel like, all right, I always feel like I wanted to make myself an asset. And I feel like if it's anybody right now that's trying to figure it out and not know what they want to do in life, um, try to make yourself an asset to somebody or to somebody that got something going on. That don't necessarily mean that you got to be kissing their butt and a lot of things like that.
Hmm.
So like if you feel like, all right, if you know everybody that's probably watching this, somebody in their phone knows somebody that probably got a house that they want to sell, or they probably know somebody that want to buy something, or they know somebody. So you
Hmm.
make yourself an asset to somebody, and then that can help you out a long way. So I feel like build those relationships, get into those Facebook groups. That's how I found you. Yes, times
Hmm.
have changed, years has
Okay.
evolved, but people still get heavy. Like I sold when I first got into wholesaling, I got a lot of my properties off on Facebook Marketplace. At that time, we
Hmm.
was doing stuff on offer up, let go. Like I was putting properties on there and everything. Like all those
Hmm.
stuff worked. You know what I'm saying? Like
Big
and I
facts.
built and I put buyers. I got buyers from there because I would post my properties on there, and they would automatically hit me right away, asking me. I get their emails, get their criteria, and see what they want, and then I was
Hmm.
able to build my buyers list that way.
Just like that, just like that. So yeah, and I do agree with you that I do believe that those are some very, very important relationships to build because it's kind of like low hanging fruit. It's a lot of people out there that may be really good with sellers. It's other people out there that are really good with buyers, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that. I mean, we can come together and actually make more money than what we would have done if we were just trying to do everything ourselves. Very often, at least. But I'm curious to hear what you think about this question, bro. Like for someone that's let's say like just getting started in wholesaling or something like that, like why should they be trying to work with other wholesalers, like in your opinion or perspective?
I feel that they should be trying to work with other wholesalers for you could be able to for you could be able to get a feel of what you're doing. I know that like I'm just a firm believer. I like to work with other people. I know a lot of people like to
Hmm.
stand alone to do things on their own, but I feel it's also always good to work with other wholesalers because, like you said, you may have a buyer and they may just have a seller. Like I said, you always could be an asset to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always feel like it's best to work with other wholesalers, or just that don't necessarily mean that you got to do a deal with them, but if it could be a chance where, like right now, I got a deal that fell apart. So I'm connecting with one another wholesaler to see if they could possibly have something available for me, a buyer for it. So I feel like
Hmm.
everything always ain't got to be on you. So it's okay, like if you okay with splitting your pot with somebody, that's why I always go off of volume. So if you go off volume, you ain't got to be fixated on that big pot. Ain't nothing wrong. Yes, we all want that big pot, but if you're doing by volume, you know what I'm saying? Everything else it make up for the rest.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree, bro. For real. I think that there's a lot of benefits in kind of focusing on volume. Like, how many people can I actually network? How many people do I know? Very often, I know it sounds cliche, but they say your network is your net worth. So,
Right.
very often, the more people that the more people you can do business with and actually help, the better options you're going to have in life, and the more people you're going to be able to help, and therefore, the more resources you can get back in return for actually helping people. So, okay. So I know that you kind of talked about like some of the other ventures that you've been doing, like since getting into wholesaling. So let me just kind of like lay it out or whatever. So you said that you were since starting to wholesale, like you've also dove into Turo, Airbnb, um, and what credit repair. So you've got like a lot of different services basically. Right,
Yes.
right. So it sounds like okay. So I'm curious, bro. Like for people that so basically, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just asking you this from my personal questions or whatever. Like, and like, do you have like mentorship for like all of these things, or is it just for the wholesale and stuff? I'm very curious because I know you say you
Right
got
now,
mentees.
I just have the mentorship. We're actually in week 2 of the
Okay.
mentorship. For the real estate wholesaling.
Hmm.
I'm going to be starting other things to talk about the Airbnbs, the Turo, and the business. I do business consulting all the time, and I also help people get funding. Um, I do that as well. And
Okay.
also show a lot of people sometimes don't realize they can get vehicles in their business things. I show people how you can get vehicles in your business without having to use your personal credit.
Mm.
It's proven. Like I ain't got over like 6 cars, So that's just me personally, and that's
Man.
not alone the people that I help people get. So and
Mm.
that's we go from Mercedes to little Kias. You know what
You
I'm saying?
say
So
you the plug on the cars and stuff. You say you got all of the you say
yeah,
you got all the juice. I can actually attest that you've actually helped me do some things with my credit and stuff like that over time. So I do appreciate you, my brother. For real. Okay. Okay. Very, 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 very interesting. Okay. So let me see. I got some more questions here for you, bro. Matter of fact, we're kind of just talking about that subject or whatever. I'm very curious. Like, how did you find out about business credit? And I think you answered this earlier, but have you ever used business credit to fund a real estate deal? Maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
yeah, I have. When I first started finding about business credit, I was able to use a business credit card that I got, and I was able to use the percentage off of it to be able to fund the deal. Also, I was able to use that to be actually a bank too as well. I had a person that wanted to he had a property that he was trying to get funding for,
Mm,
and at the time, I think I probably had like 50,000 on the card or whatever. And with most business credit cards, it's 0% interest for 12 months.
mm,
So we was able to work it out where I was able to fund his deal and get a percentage back on the back end side. And at that time, if he didn't pay for it, I was just able to keep the property. And by us knowing his wholesale strategy, if he wasn't able to fund the deal, give me my money back, I could just go ahead and just sell this property and pay my card off and get the points off of it and use that points
mm.
to go fly somewhere and travel.
Okay, so and correct me if I'm wrong, but I just want to clarify what you just said. So basically, you're saying that you were able to not only use your business credit as like a down payment for a property that you were working on, you were also able to use that as like basically being the bank for another investor. Basically, well, I'm assuming that
To
you were
fund that
paying for
deal.
the rehab, or oh, you were actually buying it. Like, were
Yeah,
you
I
buying
actually
the
bought.
property, or you doing the rehab?
Yeah, actually was able to buy the property. This was like I won't do this no more though, but I'm just being honest. It just happened. But
Right,
now
right,
that I
yeah.
know that I don't have to use my all my money, but at that time, this was years ago. At that time, I had just got the card, and the
Mm,
person was trying to get a fix and flip, and they couldn't get funded for it. So I was just able to use my credit card to purchase the property and pay for
mm,
the whole rehab. Now I wouldn't do that now. Now moving forward, you got a lot of different lenders. If you pay like 10%, I would still, instead of using my own money for either hard money or private money, whatever, I would
mm,
just use my money from the card 10%, and then I'm not able to have to spend my own personal money. Because of course these cards you
mm.
don't have to they 0% interest for 12 months.
Right,
So it's like I could do so much with that same money in that 12-month period.
right, right. Okay, very, very interesting.
I know
Huh,
it sounds
okay.
complicated. So it's like, all right, say it like this. You got to say,
Yeah.
like, how you got your regular same credit card,
Uh-huh.
but on business credit, on your regular credit card, it's gonna hurt your utilization. Like, how your utilization
Mhm,
need to be
mhm,
under 30%. On
mhm.
business credit, it's not hurting your utilization because you got a 0% interest credit card that you ain't got to pay
Right,
nothing on it for 12 months. So it's
right.
different than like, on a personal side and the business side, your utilization is not there on the business credit because you could basically swipe, you could max it out, or you could get lines of credit. Like I was able to. This is the thing too, though. A lot of people don't
Mm,
realize this too. Like I was able to find out what banks pull from where and what banks going to do what they're going to do. So like, yeah, you may have your personal credit. I know this is going off from real estate, but I'm just using a prime example
that's all
for
good.
people
Go
to
ahead.
understand where I got to. So, prime example, like the three major credit bureaus: TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. So, I was able to figure out when I'm applying for these different credit cards, when I'm applying for them, I know where they pulling from. So, if I know
Mhm,
where all the
mhm,
credit cards that I want to apply for, I just will freeze the other two. I'm just giving y'all some free gems right now. I would just freeze the other two, and I will apply for everything on TransUnion and get
mm,
approved. And then once I figured out what's everything that I could do from Experian, I will freeze TransUnion and Equifax and apply for everything
mhm,
from them. And then then the same thing. Then since we do this credit stuff, when we go to the business aspect, we know where these banks come where these like Navy Federal, a lot of Navy Federal, they pull from TransUnion. So
mm.
I'm able to go ahead and knock the inquiry off once I go ahead and apply for it because I'm doing it in the first 30 days. You know what I'm saying? So these are the tools and strategies that I was able to learn to keep my utilization strong and then to be able to show how to hide my utilization. Like I learned all these different things. Like I ain't gonna say ain't nobody really gonna sit down and tell you this. You know, you gotta really study this stuff.
Got to
You
be
know,
plugged.
so it sounds like I feel like it sounds like it's so hard, and so it's not. But once you start learning and studying this stuff and start doing it, you able to do it. Like like you can apply for like a lot of different business cards. There's a lot of banks that's out here that's giving money out, that's giving lines of credit. So I tell people now that got a business, get multiple bank accounts. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people and they'll mess with your credit union. Your credit union is gonna be your best friend. Like I will open businesses in different cities, build relationship with bankers. Just like I build relationships with wholesalers, I'm going to build a relationship with bankers now because them gonna be your best friends.
So would you say, like, as the average wholesaler that's getting started out here, but they plan on taking this business seriously, like they want to do this long term, you would recommend that they kind of follow that same strategy, like, go out, start getting your business started, start getting some deals coming in, stuff like that, but then be very sure to make sure that you're thinking about your business credit and how your LLC or corporation is structured and so on and so forth, trying to build up those types of things at the same time. Would you say that that would be important, or like what I'm curious, like where would you kind of rank that or whatever, if you understand what
I
I'm
would
trying to say?
say it'd be important if you're able to afford it. Like so, I always teach ways the affordable way. Like I try to do everything the free way, but then there's also ways to do things where you're gonna have to spend a little money, not just being real.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not able to get some deals in right away and things are slow, yes, I would focus on my personal credit and building my business credit. Because in the meantime, as you're building your business credit, say for instance, you drive around all day, you get your business gas card. Simple. You get what I'm saying? Every day, daily things that you do. A lot of people go to Walmart, Sam's Club, you get your business Sam's Club card. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you could do all these different same things that you do on your regular day-to-day activities in your personal life, but you could do this on the business side. So why not build that business up for you, like to be a business? Don't just focus on like, yeah, I'm doing real estate, because that also could also help you get to other things too. I don't want to like overload nobody, but I just want people to see like the picture. If somebody sat here and told me years ago when I first got into real estate, all right, build your business up, do this, and you could do that, I would have been able to see that, vice versa. I had to go through all the stuff I had to go through to get to that, because then it would have helped me out. I would have been able to have checklists, you know what I'm saying, to be able to check it off. I was able to do this, I was able to do that. So, like, I would tell people, yes, try to build the business credit up, because at the end of the day, even if somebody wasn't in real estate, I tell everybody to have a business. Even if it's your last name, pick your last name. That's your legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't got no kids, or if you got kids, if your last name Smith Enterprise, you know what I'm saying? And just build from there. And then later on, worst case scenario, if the business don't work out, you can sell your LLC later on. Like people buying LLCs. That's season. So say, I ain't been times I bought LLCs and I sold them. Like a lot of my properties that I got now, they are LLCs. So I don't have them all in the same, under the same business. I have them in different LLCs. So if I need to sell it, I could sell an LLC with the property.
Boom, just like that. Hey, you say you got some savvy strategies out here, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff, maybe for the average person, can get a little complex and stuff like that or whatever. But I'm very curious. Like, I did see a billboard that you have or whatever. I saw you on Facebook or whatever. You got a whole billboard with you on it or whatever. Talk about this master class that you have, and just kind of talk about the details of that or whatever.
The master class.
Even like, how did you even get the billboard too? That's a whole nother thing or whatever, I guess. But go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was a birthday present.
Okay.
A birthday present that was given to me. My birthday was on the 6th. I was surprised, wasn't expecting it. And she surprised me. My lady surprised me, and the rest is history.
Hey, now, right. You out here now.
But as far as the master class, I forgot what day I started. I started in July, and then because my mentorship started on the 3rd, so I started a masterclass, free masterclass for hours, talking about how to get in real estate, wholesaling. So started that, and after that, after the momentum was going for the first masterclass, like I had a total of 150 people registered for the masterclass. And out of the 150 people, I had 100 seats on Zoom, and I had 88 people on my masterclass.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
had
Okay.
88 people. Then after that, then that's when I pitched my mentorship. Right after that, then a week later, I did the masterclass again, and wanted to let people know we starting right away with the mentorship. So the masterclass is more to learn to get into real estate wholesaling using the tools and strategies that I use, the
Hmm.
free strategies,
Okay.
that get you to where you need to get to. Now the mentorship, just like me having you being a mentor to me, more
Mhm.
hands-on, talking to me, coaching you through the deals, cold calling, showing all these different strategies. But at the same time, you can also able to close deals. That free masterclass that I got, I'm doing one next week on the 31st. So if
Okay.
you guys on here listen to me, if you want to know, of course, you get all the information from Ed too, but if you want to get some other information from me, it's going to be next week on the 31st at 8 p.m. Next Wednesday. But showing you the free tools and strategies that I use that I still use to this day. For the average wholesaler that may not know nothing about Facebook groups, that may not be able to afford prop stream, all these other things. That's what the
Hmm.
master class is for the person that's not able to afford it. Then once you're able to get your deal under the table, then you can go ahead and use all these other strategies too that pay services, basically.
Okay. Okay. So you got the low strategies on the masterclass, and it's just putting them on for free strategies that they can get out there and actually dive into the game, basically. Man, that
Right.
sounds like a lick, man. Okay. Okay. So I think that we have the link to the masterclass as well. I'm going to drop that for you guys so y'all can check that out as well. There it is right there. You all will see it on the bottom of the screen now. If y'all want to check out my guy Jamal's masterclass, man. Obviously, y'all see this guy got a lot of game. So, you may have some questions for him and things like that, or whatever you may want to reach out for sure. All right. So I got a few more questions for you, bro. And we're
Yeah,
not
for
gonna
sure.
take too
We
too
rock. We
much.
rocking and rolling. Hit it.
Yeah. We're not gonna take too much of the audience's time. And then I'll also want to be able to answer a few questions as well if you got some time at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe, a few questions, something like that. So guys, make sure that if y'all got any excuse me. If y'all got any questions for Jamal and myself, definitely drop a comment down below. We're more than willing to answer any questions that y'all have. So definitely drop y'all comments down below. We'll start getting a little queue together, and then we're gonna answer a few questions at the end. All right. All right. So
Okay.
I got a few more questions for you though, bro. So let's see. All right. So this is a very important question or whatever. I think that I asked my guy Sean Young this when he came on to the podcast a few weeks back or whatever. So I want to ask you this as well. Like, what would you say sets you apart from other coaches, like including myself? Like, what would make you different? Like, what's the reason to go with you? Or like, what's your kind of thing that people should expect if they're going to go with you?
Um. Well, to be honest with you, in my master class, I wasn't expecting. Um. Well, I ain't gonna say wasn't expecting because you always want to expect great, but I
Hmm.
feel like in my master class, what I offer and what I'm doing, a lot of people that see me from the beginning, like I don't teach on nothing that I'm not doing. I'm a firm believer. I don't talk about what I'm not doing. I go from credit, business, real estate. It's so much about real estate that I still don't know to this day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So I only speak on what I do. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't do subject tools. A lot of people speak on that. So like I would tell you more. I would tell you up front. You know what I'm saying? And I feel
Yeah.
like with my master class, what sets me apart is that I'm gonna make sure you get it done. Because I know how it is to not feel that it's tough to not be able to close a deal, um, to not know how you gonna get your next, how you gonna feed your family the next day, or not
Right.
saying that everybody's like that. Everybody had a struggle, everybody go through what they go through, but I also feel that I offer a lot of things too. So I also feel like if you're trying to get your business structured the right way and be able to properly be able to present yourself the right way as a business, I'm here to help you. I'm also here to, tell you too. I know, all these other things like Turo, Airbnb, but also feel like if you in my circle, you're around my inner circle too at the same time. So not only
Mm,
that you get in a master class, you'll be able to get access to my inner circle as well. You know what I'm saying? So
mm,
like we had a bonus. I'm not gonna talk about all the other bonuses that's gonna happen in this class because I may got some of my mentees on here right now, but they wasn't expecting to have a credit specialist on last week. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know, we throwing things out there that's gonna help you change your life. That helped me change
Right.
my life. So whatever that helped me change my life, I'm gonna put that in. I'm giving it to you guys because you guys poured into me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Just because it's real estate wholesaling and you want to show, but y'all guys poured into me for me to be able to provide for myself and my family. I'm gonna go ahead and give you everything that I got.
mm. You say everything you got. Obviously, you got a lot, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie. If I join a mentorship, I'm asking you all types of questions about Turo, Airbnb, and stuff. Like I'm just so interested. Like because you got so much knowledge, bro. That's very very interesting for real. Okay, so speaking of that, then, like if someone wanted to work with you, whether it's the master class or not or whatever, what would you say is like the best way for somebody to that's watching this right now to actually get in contact with Jamal Rogers?
They could get in contact with me. My Instagram is sneaks.dissing. Or if you want to text me, my number is 216
Mm,
616 2262.
mm.
Also, my email is info at itisyourtime.net.
Dang, you say you dropping whole phone numbers on here, man. I hope you know how many people gonna be watching this, man. Over time, it made me a lot of views, man. So good luck with that. But that's what's up, though, man. Okay, okay. So let's see. All right. So here's a question that I like to ask every single person that comes onto the podcast, including your previous time coming onto the podcast. Maybe the answer has changed by now, but bro, I'm curious. Like, what would be your best advice to someone that's looking to get started out here in the wholesaling space?
My best advice is do it, man. Don't make any excuses. Just make adjustments. Just do it.
Mm,
At the end of the day, like you're the only person that could be holding yourself back.
mm,
So I know how it is holding myself back personally. I probably set myself back a year. I'm blessed to be where I'm at, but as I sit back and think about it, if I let go some things at the beginning and was able to push some of the things that I had at my arsenal, um, like I'll be ahead. Like right now, I'm at a space right now in my life where I have all these great things around me, all these different things. Like, and I'll be a fool if I don't take advantage of what I got in front of me. I don't want to be that guy that's in his 50s years old and is late and be thinking like, dang, I wish I did that when I got everything right in front of me. It's one thing for a person that don't know what they want to do. But if they got everything in front of them, you got to go ahead and do it. So
mm,
I know that's a total opposite of somebody that's trying to get into this business, but it's a lot of resources out here. You got YouTube, and if you got some money, you're gonna have to pay to invest it to somebody, and that's real. Like
mm,
like I said, like I'm doing a master class for free. So if you do a master class for free, I would study that. I would get on the class. I would go to these RM meetings. I would go to all these different events. Like you could go uh, download the Meetup app on your phone. They got all
mm,
types of real estate stuff that's going on in your city. I would connect with different people. I would connect on Facebook with all these different people. Type in wholesaling. I guarantee you in your city, you're going to see a lot of different groups that's dealing with real estate wholesaling, investing. Like I would tap into all those different areas. Like you just got to do something different.
mm,
And then just like, I know everybody not religious, but I'm a firm believer. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. Just praying to him, just ask God to show you, ask God for clarity. And that's one of the main things that my pastor showed me. And I always will live by that. Like,
mm.
I just pray for clarity because I rather for God. I wanted to see things clear. And I rather it come from God for me, even if it's good or bad. I don't care. Just show it to me because I rather it come from you than coming from somebody else.
Big talk, man. Real talk, man. Dang. Okay, okay, man. Hey, look, I ain't even gonna add on to it, man. Look, y'all hear the gems being dropped right here, man. Get out there and take action, like Jamal said, for real. I do believe that that's some of the best advice that you could possibly give. Seriously. Okay. So, man, to be honest with you, I think that that's about it in terms of like the actual questions that I personally had for you. But now I want to turn it to the community. You guys that's sitting here watching this live podcast, drop us a comment down below. Like if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, for myself or Jamal. The topic of this conversation is building relationships. Okay. So, anything about, networking, doing JVs, even just general real estate questions. It doesn't necessarily even have to be about building relationships. Please drop a comment down below. This is your opportunity to chime in, ask me and Jamal some questions, basically get
I don't know what happened. I'm not sure what happened. I don't. I ain't know I was still on live. I don't know what happened, but hopefully, my guy get back on. Um, I can't even see the questions and comments if somebody want to ask. If y'all even got questions and comments, um, so hope everybody having a blessed day today. Yeah, we just waiting for my guy to get back on. So I hope everybody just be patient. I don't know, we having some technical difficulties, but just waiting for everybody to get back on. Let me see what the comments is. Maybe I can see. Maybe I can answer some questions before my guy get on, get back on. So, all right.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, okay, you back.
We out here struggle streaming, y'all.
Okay, we back
Oh
in
my
action.
God. Hold on. Let me see. Can y'all hear me now? Can
Right,
you
right,
hear me,
right.
bro?
Yeah, I'm here. We here. We here.
Okay, my bad, y'all. God dang. I'm like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Y'all know I'm still trying to get used to this live streaming stuff, man. I appreciate y'all patience. I see we ain't lose too many people. I appreciate y'all. All
Yeah.
right, so yeah, man. All right, so guys, I see that y'all been dropping some questions as well. Cass says, "Bro, the look on your face is priceless." That's too funny, guys. So definitely drop y'all comments down below. Like I was saying, if y'all got any questions, guys, this is your opportunity to go ahead and ask any questions that you may have for myself or Jamal. So let's not waste any time, guys. I know y'all been waiting already. Let's go ahead and pop into it. I think we got a few questions, at least a few questions on here already. So let's see. All right, let's see. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. Here we go. So Charlene says, "What's a JV?" I'm pretty sure that we covered that earlier when Jamal answered that earlier in the segment. Appreciate the question, Charlena. Boom. Let's see. Reggie, I think that's my guy, Reggie, right there. Reggie says, "What's a good way to approach a fellow wholesaler?" You want to go ahead and take that, bro?
A good way to approach a fellow wholesaler, I would just let them know, like, look, my name is, like, prime example, my name is Jamal Rogers. I'm a wholesaler in Cleveland, Ohio, and okay, well, I'm a wholesaler in Cleveland. I'm a wholesaler, and I'm able to let them know that you have, if you have buyers, let them know that you have buyers, and then because you don't want to tell them that you got a seller, but I let them know that I'm able to close on your deal. Just be honest and just be real with them, because a lot of times a lot of people will try to JV your deal, and they don't even own. I mean, they try to like double, like they try to get your deal locked up, and they ain't even got no buyers. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Big
do none of
facts.
that.
Big
So
facts.
I just be honest with them. Like I wouldn't try to approach nobody if I didn't have nothing going on. Like I ain't gonna sit here and tell you to go ahead and just try to, tell somebody for you can lock up a contract. Then that way you trying to buy time to find a buyer. No, like if you know you seriously got buyers, let them know I got a serious buyer right now. He buying in the city left and right. So if it's able, I could be able to get that property under contract. You is gonna get feedback where people gonna tell you like, I don't deal with no wholesalers. You gonna get all that. You're gonna have some people tell you they don't deal with wholesalers. You let them know like, look, I'm serious about this. I guarantee I could get your property sold, but you got to make sure that your buyer that you get is serious as well at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think that like you gotta approach it with some credibility, Reggie. Like you gotta know that like what you're telling the person is actually true. So like basically go out there, build up the buyers list first if you're gonna be trying to dispo people's deals. Now, if you've got your own deals, then you can just reach out to people and be like, hey, can you help me get this dispoed? But I would kind of vet those people as well. But just to kind of answer the question, like how I'm typically going to approach a wholesaler, and this is only if the situation is actually true. I'm going to send them a message on like, let's say like a Facebook Messenger or yeah, like basically on Facebook or whatever. I'll send them a message and it'll say something around the lines of, hey, so and so, I see that you have a property in so and so area. Is this still available? I think I may have a buyer for it. Are you interested in doing a JV? Boom. That's kind of like my exact language that I would write to somebody verbatim. So you can rewind that one time if you want.
Yeah,
It's kind of
and that's the correct way to approach somebody,
yeah.
because they may be interested, they may not be interested. I'm gonna be honest with. Sometimes I may post a property and I'll tell them like off top, you know, no JV. I mean, no wholesalers. Like and
Mhm,
that's.
mhm,
But if somebody came to me and told me they got a serious buyer about it, then I would go look into them and make sure that they serious and things like that. But don't be scared to not to approach somebody. I'm gonna just be real
yeah.
because you got some people that's are looking. You got seasoned investors that's in our city right now. That's professionals that been in this business for a while, and they know that you're serious and that you know that your buyer could provide proof of funds and EMD. That's the main
Mhm,
thing too, though. So when you're talking to your buyers, make sure that they able to be able to provide that EMD. That's gonna help you out
mhm.
a lot too in the game too. So that help you out, even dealing with the other person that you're dealing with. So they know that you serious and like, all right, this person gonna be able to provide an EMD within 24 hours. And if they
Boom.
don't provide an EMD in 24 hours, we ain't even got to do no business together.
Yeah, 100%. I feel you. I feel you. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's see what else we got. Let's see. DKBRN says, Jamal, do you have a mentorship program? I'm sorry if you answered this question already. I just got on the live. So you want
Yes,
to tell them about it again?
Yes, I'm actually in my second week of my mentorship now. I do have 3 slots available. After this week, I won't be doing no more mentorships until the next class rolls over. So the classes that are available right now, if you missed the first 3 classes, you are able to have access in our private Facebook group, and you are able to have access to the live replays of the regular classes and the bonus classes that we had. Like we have our classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So yesterday was class 3, week 2. So if somebody is interested in joining the mentorship, you have to join it this week. And after that, you got to wait to the next class. The next class will probably more than likely be at the end of September. Um, but right now, we just in this class right now for it's a 5-week class.
Boom. There you go, guys. And y'all can also see the link down below to join the free masterclass that Jamal has. Right there is just itsyourtimemasterclass.com. So bang, there you go. Definitely check that out. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got here. So let's see. So Charlena Says, should I structure my LLC as wholesaler as a main focal point, or is it wiser to incorporate it in? I'm not. That's kind of
Well, I
difficult to
believe that
understand
she's
the
trying to
questions.
ask, like, well, I know a lot of people will tell you you don't have to have an LLC. If you're going to begin like the money that we're getting, I would just advise you just to go ahead and set your business up as the right corporation. Me personally, I have a corporation. I don't have an LLC. I'm not going to give you any legal advice as far as that. So that was something that you have to talk to, you know, somebody as far as how you want to structure. You can have the understanding of the LLCs, the corporations, C corp, all those different things, because it all depends on how you want your business for tax purposes and things like that. So, but don't get so caught up and be like, I gotta have a business. So like if it's going, but you can't like you could go on to. I'm in Ohio, so you go on the Secretary of State website. You get an LLC the same day, about like
Mm,
$120 or something like that. So you could get yourself set up that way to have an LLC, and that way, like when you're doing your assignments, you just make yourself present better. Like prime example, like when somebody asks you what's your business information, if I could be able to see your assignment, so you just want to have yourself set up the proper way. I'm a firm believer. I do everything with excellence. My pastor always talk about excellence, and I just believe if you want somebody to take you serious, even when you present yourself to these people and he's like, my name is Charlena, my business, this, and this, and that. You want to have your business set up the right way because some people may look you up. So if you look my
hmm
name up, my business up, you're gonna see that, So
hmm
you want to be able to have yourself presented the right way.
Boom. Yeah. I mean, it does make a difference. That definitely, attributes to your credibility out here in these streets. Actually having the LLC, actually having a business address, business email address, things of that nature. Those are kind of like some things that do go into it. But like Jamal said, I would say, like, I usually tell people, let your business pay for itself. Right. But to keep this in mind, like, let's say, for instance, you don't have an LLC, you go out there and you get your first deal as a wholesaler, right? I just want y'all to be very, very aware that, like, all money that you got coming in on a personal basis, you get taxed at a way higher percentage rate than what you would if you had like an LLC or an S corp or something like that. Basically, you end up, like, usually, I know I have an S corp personally, like multiple S corps, and I get
Yeah,
taxed way less money because I have an S corp versus, like, literally it's like less than half as much versus if I was just getting all of this money coming in just to my personal account. So be
yeah,
very, very, very aware of that. Like I say, allow your business to pay for itself, but don't take too long. You don't want to go out there and earn 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 grand in your own name. And then all of a sudden you're transitioning it over and stuff. That's going to cost you a lot, like
then the banks
a
will
lot of money.
Then the
For
banks,
real.
you don't want the banks to be looking at you funny too, having all this money in your account
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
personal, and you can't explain that. So,
Yeah. Starts
you
to look
want,
weird.
yeah,
You may get some questions.
it get different when you start getting want to get a CPA involved. So like I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah. Okay, so man, great. That's some great stuff right there. Okay, let's see. Don Francisco, and I think that this is our last question right here. Unless you all have any more questions, y'all could definitely drop maybe one or two more down below. We may have a few more minutes to answer a couple more. If not, this will be the last one right here. But let's see. Let's see. Don Francisco says, Jamal, what's the fastest way to build a buyer's list?
Um, Fastest way to build a buyer's list. uh, I always say this, and I would say it in my class. I would go like Ed say, like a ghost lead. I call it dummy lead or whatever. I take a picture of a property and put it on put it up for sale and say that you got this property under contract. And I guarantee you're gonna have a lot of people biting at you. And then once you have those people hitting you up, asking for this property under asking, do you have this property available? Like, oh man, this property in title right now. But
Right.
I do have some other properties that's coming available. I would like to get a list of some things that you like to buy, and you build in the criteria, and you seeing what people want, and you also being able to contact them to talk to them and see if they really serious or buyers. So don't get me wrong, you're gonna have a lot of wholesalers hit you up too. You may have me hitting you up
Mhm.
if you got a property if it look good, but but you
Big facts.
you definitely, that's one of the fastest ways to me. What about you, Ed? What about you?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. My favorite way, and man, maybe I shouldn't be dropping this
Oh,
sauce on this
my
podcast,
bad.
but
My
it's
bad.
all
Putting you on
good
the spot.
because nah, it's all good. But it's like since it's at the end of the podcast, most people don't make it to the end. So you all, I think it's like 19, 20 of y'all watching right now, whatever. The y'all people that made it to the end, y'all gonna get this sauce. And some of you all may have heard it before, but my personal favorite place to build up a buyer's list pretty quickly was formerly known as GoSection8.com, but now it's called AffordableHousing.com. And basically, when you go to AffordableHousing.com, what I like most about it is that you'll put in your city, state, zip code, whatever it is, and then you're gonna see like apartments for rent. You may be like, well, what the hell am I doing here? Well, basically, when you click on that 2-bed, 1-bath apartment for rent, it's gonna have that landlord's name and phone number right there, readily available for you on the site. So, like I say, like I'm glad I'm not telling everybody that watches my channel this stuff right now. Whatever.
The crazy thing about that, you said that, so people asking about mentorship. We just dove into that yesterday in our
Look at
class.
that.
So if anybody interested in joining this week, you're gonna see us detailing what he talked about. But we just dove into that detail to show you those steps by like definitely step by step. So that's the difference of having a mentorship. Yes, you're gonna masterclass, you're gonna have these, the tools to get you there, but to be able to show you hands-on screen, showing you all these different stuff step by step and walk you through. Mentorships is hands-on. So you want to have that. We definitely literally we can contest that. That's what we just was literally talking about in our class yesterday.
That's so funny. So yeah, look, we dropping sauce for you out there. Who is that asked that? Who asked that question? Don Francisco. Man, I wish I can give you a little sound effect. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Can y'all hear that? Can you hear that, bro? No? You didn't hear that sound effect? No? Tragic. Nah, I'm assuming not. That's messed up, man. Anyway, no worries. We got one last question here, bro. Let's see what they got to say. This is Silentia. Boom, says, I've been interested in studying wholesaling for a bit, but they recently made it to where we can't legally do it here in my state. What's the workaround? This makes me sad. Silentia, what state do you live in? Because as far as I know, it's always a workaround in every state. I'm not sure what state you live in that it makes you believe that you can't wholesale in your state, but please drop a comment down below and let us know if you're still watching live.
Yeah, we'd definitely like to know that. What state? We
want to know that. I
can
basically tell you this. It's always going to be workarounds, though, Silentia. I could basically answer your question without even knowing what state you live in, to be honest with you. Basically, there's always going to be a workaround. If regardless of the state, you can always what is it called? The deal. You can always double close the deal if it came down to it. Okay, so Silentia says that she's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Boom. Yeah, so I haven't heard anything about that, Silentia. That's really Silentia. I'm saying it wrong. Sorry.
Milwaukee, a good market like Cleveland. So
yeah, I haven't heard anything about, but I'll look into it or whatever. But I haven't heard anything about Wisconsin or Milwaukee having like some new laws or anything like that. But I guess like some options that you could do, kind of like potential workarounds. One, it's definitely restrictions in Illinois, like DK says or whatever. But in terms of Milwaukee, I'm not sure, but I would say regardless, like workarounds for that would be one, doing double closings on your deals, meaning going out and getting transactional funding and you actually closing on the A to B side of the transaction. And instead of having your buyer sign an assignment contract, have them sign another purchase and sale agreement. That would be one way. You can go out there and find like some transactional funding to be able to do those types of deals. Silentia. Yeah. She said she had to sound it out for us. Silentia. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so that would be one kind of straightforward workaround. Another workaround, depending on your state, like I'll have to actually look into the details, like if there actually is some new law in the books. But in Illinois, like they required you to become an agent. That could be a workaround, just becoming an agent. I would need to look into the details, but I personally haven't heard anything about some type of ban on wholesaling in Wisconsin. If so, I would definitely write a video about it. I would love to, cover that for the community. I try to be on top of stuff like that, but I haven't heard that. It's very very, very interesting. If you can drop a link or something like that to where you found that out, that would be great. Or shoot me like a little a DM on Instagram, or message me on Facebook or something like that, or whatever. Like with whatever, wherever you found that out, I would be glad to actually check that out. It's very interesting. Have you heard anything about that, Jamal?
No, like I said, I know people that's been doing deals in Milwaukee.
Me too. A
Um,
lot of deals.
they say like Milwaukee kind of like how Cleveland is, like one of those cities where there's a lot of properties is not that high. So I actually was
Yeah.
actually thinking about looking into the Milwaukee market because, like, even though I do wholesaling here, and one thing I have learned from you that you do everything virtually, and
Yeah.
expand into different markets for different spreads for the spread to be bigger. And when I did hear that Cleveland, I mean that Milwaukee is kind of similar to Cleveland. So like you said, like you do the transitional funding, um, finding different sources. Like I did transitional funding for a few people before.
Mm.
I don't do it as much as I used to because I
Hmm.
didn't want, even though you get your stuff back right away that same day. But yeah, that's definitely one of those options that you can do. The double close. We talked about that yesterday in the mentorship as well, too, as far as like double closing over bigger assignments and things like that. But definitely that definitely was the gym right there, double closing for
Hmm.
to be able to get away with that in those different markets that's restricted.
Boom, just like that. It's always going to be a workaround, though, Silent Thea. I promise you, it's always going to be a workaround. It's literally no way to really, really stop this. You can't stop people from buying and selling houses. Like people can sell their houses if they want to. So you can always find a workaround no matter what state you're working in. There is not one state in all of the 50 United States that you can't wholesale in. I promise you that. Okay. It's always going to be a workaround. You may have to come with money to the table and things like that or whatever, but I promise you it's always going to be a workaround. Trust me. Nothing can stop you from doing these deals outside of just thinking that you can. But I promise you, you can, no matter what state you live in. And it looks like someone was asking if I offer one-on-one. Let me get back to that. It was like, do you offer one-on-one calls to help with questions on potential deals? Absolutely. DK BRN. Yeah, like you could definitely schedule a strategy session with that link right there. If you guys want to schedule a phone call with me personally, you also got Jamal's link in the description of this video. All links will be in the description of the video already. So definitely check them out, guys. Help yourself down below. All right. So we're gonna basically be wrapping this up in like the next couple minutes. I think we got like a big comment right here. Hey, my pleasure, DK. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, thank you,
All right.
DK.
So let's see. Andre S says, I know it's not wholesale related, but for one person entering the Turo market, how many cars would be the sweet spot? And is there a better to car to have than any other car? Is there like one better car to have? That's a question for you right there, bro. I don't know if you want to I don't know if you
Um,
want to do that one. Maybe give them the cliff notes
it's
on that one since
it
it's
dep-
not.
I I got cars from like a luxury. I ain't gonna like hide them, but like a Mercedes to economy cars. I'm gonna be honest with you. Your economy cars can be your bread and butter. So don't have to be focused on feeling like I gotta have a Mercedes or a Lexus or things like that. I just got a Kia Forte not too long ago, 2021. That's my little blue baby. You know what I'm saying? My car note on it low, and it stay out weekly. So that could be your bread and butter. It don't have to necessarily. And I tell people this real quick. Um, when it comes to Toro Airbnb, with Toro, if you Toro your car out one weekend a month, that could pay your car note. That's all go about the leverages. So you know
Damn.
what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like I know these are cars. We don't want nothing to happen to us. These are babies, but at the end of the day, I take that emotion out these cars, man. I don't care about these cars no more. So at the
Hmm.
end of the day, like if somebody want to rent that car out and it's gonna take care of my car note for a week. So like especially I know we on this live, I'm gonna give a prime example for couples. So if y'all two people got two cars in the household, y'all car note, whatever the average, one of y'all gonna have to sacrifice. If y'all trying to get to the next level, one I would say sacrifice one weekend or 2 weekends out of the month. So one weekend or one week, Toro that car out, Then the husband and wife, they're gonna have to, drive each other around back and forth. Then the next week do the same thing, and I guarantee that's gonna eliminate a bill for you guys. You get what I'm
Boom.
saying? So that's gonna eliminate two bills, two car notes. You know what I'm saying? It's all
Bang,
about trying
bang.
to figure out and leverage it out. I know that may sound hard, and people want to not give up their car, but if you're working all day, you're at work, or if you're trying to figure it out, why not?
So basically, to answer the question, at least one, because it
Yeah.
sounded like he was basically saying like what? Hold on. It sounded like he was basically saying like, is
How
there a
many?
better car to have than any other car? Like the types of cars. You say that you got basically a range, but as long as you got something, then you're in the game, basically.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's a decent car. Economy cars gonna always people gonna always rent those economy cars out. Vice versa. Then you
Mhm.
also want to think about if you got like a truck with third row seating, that also helps
Mm,
as well. But these economy cars, like my friend of mine, he got a Honda Civic, a little
mm.
Honda Civic. That boy stay out. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
So those economy cars gonna always be your bread and butter, like Altimas, all those like Altimas, Kias, Toyotas. Those economy cars, and the car note's not that high on them as well. So,
Boom.
but if you
There you
start getting
go.
into like the other cars, like a Challenger, like I have a Challenger, then you got to deal with other people trying to drag race and all the other extra crap. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody got time for that. Look, we ain't gonna worry about that. We just gonna keep it moving. So, boom, Andre. I hope that that answers your question. Despite it not being real estate related, we gonna squeeze that one in since we talked about Turo stuff earlier. So, this is gonna be the last one right here, bro. And it says, how many records do you recommend for someone starting out to pull? What say you, my brother?
I'm kind of confused what he mean by how many records.
So
Can you,
basically, how many leads should he pull from PropStream just starting out?
um,
What say you?
Well, PropStream actually give you like a free option, like for they give you about like I can't remember how many they give you to start
10,000
off.
leads per month to
Yeah,
begin.
per month. Yeah, they give you per lead per month. To be honest with you, I don't use PropStream that much. I'm gonna be all the way real with you. I don't. I
Boom.
probably would
Okay.
do. I would start off minimal because if you're gonna get a skip trace, if it's in your budget as well, you know what I'm saying. I would like to try to stay in my budget. I don't want to try to go over my budget because I know you have other ways to skip trades. Like you use PropStream to do everything for you. So if they giving you 10,000, you don't want to max. If you want to max that 10,000 out to pull all the different leads, but I always, to me personally, I don't know if this is different for you, Ed.
Hmm.
I would try different strategies on PropStream because I don't want to use my whole 10,000 on, like, say for instance, if you're looking for commercial, like you know how you do the criteria, I don't want to sit on my leads on one particular criteria, if that makes sense. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because there's so many
100%.
different ways when you playing around with Product Train. They got so many different strategies on there. So I wouldn't waste all my leads. That's just me personally. I don't. What about you? I don't know. That's just
Yeah,
me.
I think that that's a great that's great advice right there. One thing that I recommend basically is that if you're going to have PropStream, definitely pull all 10,000 of your leads from PropStream. Whether you're getting county data, whether it's, whatever, wherever you're getting your data, pull all of it whenever you can get it, right? So there is no real minimum. Well, I would say that there's no real maximum. That's what I should say. There's no real maximum on how many people you should be reaching out to. But keep in mind that if you pull that 10,000 leads from PropStream, after you get those leads skip traced, then you're gonna let's say you get 80% match rate, like 80-90% of those people actually have phone numbers. Boom. Now you're gonna be left with about 8,000 leads. Just call it 8,000 leads. Now from there, you can kind of do the math and be like, okay, how many leads do I have and how long can they last me? So if you got 8,000 leads, that's about 400 texts per day, 5 days out the week, 4 weeks out the month. Boom. Well, a little bit under 4 weeks or whatever, just because it's like 22 weekdays in any given month or whatever. So it's like technically 8,800 leads is what you would be hoping to be able to have on a monthly basis if you want to hit that 400 calls made per day or text made per day quota. Boom. So you could just kind of do the math on that. I hope that answers your question. Like in all reality, depending on where you're getting your leads or whatever, you may want to do more than that, or depending on what level of the business you're at right now, maybe you've already been pulling 10,000. You're like, I want to be doing more than that. Maybe you start leveling up to the most ideal range, which I would say is somewhere between 15 to 30,000 leads on a monthly basis. That's like the most ideal, depending on what your marketing strategy, your market, and other factors actually are. So boom. Hope that helps, man. Kind of detailed right there. Just gave you some sauce. That's some sauce. All right, so I said that was going to be the last one, but I think that Don came in with another great question. Don Griffin always comes in with some great questions, man. Salute to Don Griffin, my brother. I appreciate you, for real, for real. You've been out here like for most of my live sessions throughout me starting my channel, so I appreciate it. Let's see. He says, what's the best course of action to surround yourself with like-minded people in the industry or just other business owners in your local market? Yeah, boom. And he wrote boom. So what say you, bro? Like what would you say today? Like what's the best way to surround yourself with other like-minded people or other business owners in your local market?
Well, first I believe you're a firm believer if some people are there, right away. But I also like to stay away from the BS and the drama. So if it's something where I know I want to be around, like they always say, like, if I want to be around successful people, I try to find myself to be an asset towards them and things like that. I go to these different meetings. Like I said, like you use the Meetup app, you use Facebook, you can find out what's meetups that's going on. Don't necessarily mean like you feel like you gotta be kissing somebody's butt just to be around somebody else. But at the end of the day, you want to learn from somebody. You want to learn from different things, their tools and strategies, and you just want to build. Like I tell people all the time, like, look, my name's Jamal Rogers. I'm trying to build and grow, and I really genuinely mean that. I'm trying to build and grow, and I'm just trying to expand my network. And I did that with so many people starting off, and I had people brush me off along the journey. I'm gonna be real. A lot of people brush me off, and the same people that brushed me off, they all want some of them people want to do business with me now. So just just be yourself, and I will start looking into different groups. Just changing your circle. Sometimes you may have to get rid of your friends and family. You may have to let go some people go because they could be holding you back, and that could be God telling you something like, look, man, I told you need to let this person go. Because you could be talking about this business to somebody all the time and they ain't trying to hear it. And that could be just a spirit probably telling you, like, I need to let them go. So, like, I would try to, like, even the entrepreneur journey, it could get lonely, and that's just real. You could be to yourself. A lot of people not going to think how you think because they not trying to get to where you think. So they may be thinking small. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you tell somebody to this day that you can make $100,000 a month right now, they're going to probably look at you like you're crazy. I got people that make $100,000 in a day. I just seen one of my mentors talk about he just made $70,000 a day, just off of GP. So like that's real. Like like you just got to just think bigger. Not saying that you're not, but I would just try to keep myself around good people and join different groups and and just do that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you when it comes to joining groups. I would say that from my experience, the most helpful thing that I've done in my business to put myself around like-minded people and other business owners was going out to REI meetings like Jamal mentioned. Honestly, I would say that that's probably the number one method, depending on what market you're in and stuff like that. As long as it's not like a bunch of shady people there or self-promoting people, they're trying to lock you into some type of course or mentorship or data. If that's not the main thing, if the main thing is providing value for each other, maybe giving you an opportunity to present properties to people, things of that nature. If that's kind of like the focus, then I would say that may be the best way to come across people, is just joining local real estate groups in your market, actually shaking hands with these people, and maybe take a couple people out for a cup of coffee. Actually, take them out for a meal or something. Go get a drink with somebody, something like that. So you can actually get around these people, actually shake their hands. And another thing that I would recommend if you're going to do something like that would be to go out with like a We Buy Houses t-shirt on, or We Buy Houses hoodie, or like a We Buy Houses little cover of a book or something like that, or like a little notepad with We Buy Houses drawn into it or something, if you can't afford the shirt right now and stuff like that or whatever. Just make it obvious that you're the dude that wholesales houses, or you're the gal that wholesales houses. So when people can literally just see you from a distance, because you may be out at an event, maybe some people are scared to actually walk up and talk to people. But if you got on like a We Buy Houses t-shirt, which you can find down below this video, like if you got like a little We Buy Houses t-shirt or something like that, you can actually customize a shirt. I'm pretty sure if you buy them for me that you can customize them on my site. But either way, even if you don't get them from me, put your phone number on there, or an email address, or a text blankety blank to blankety blank phone number on your shirt or on your clothing, or maybe on your notepad, whatever it is. And now you're going to get more traction. You're going to make more stuff happen, because some people are afraid to talk. So that's something that can work from a distance as well. Boom. Dropping gems on y'all foreheads. But yeah, man, I think that that's about it though, guys. We've answered all of y'all questions, man. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this session, man. We try to provide some value to the community. Shout out to my guy Jamal for coming on to the podcast today, man. Actually, doing one of these inaugural sessions of the Wholesaler Mastermind while we're actually live answering y'all questions, so y'all can answer anything that y'all want. But I'm glad that we had this experience, bro. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave the audience with before we wrap this thing up? Can you hear me? Is there anything else that you want to say, like, before we wrap this thing up, bro?
Oh, my bad. I was reading the comments.
Okay. Funny as
like I said, no. But other than that, man, I appreciate you. I just want to tell you thank you, and I appreciate you being in my life, man. And I always will tell you that, like, I appreciate you and thank you for everything. For real, I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Man, it truly is my pleasure, bro. I genuinely mean that, bro. You've been one hell of a success story. You went out there, you made stuff happen, bro. Despite the adversity, you didn't make excuses. You kept going. Most importantly, it's like my motto is: you either win or you quit. You had more than enough reason to quit, but you kept going, bro. So I really mean it, bro. Like, salute to you. I commend you for going hard for your dreams, bro, and actually doing everything that you said that you was going to do. I remember we had a conversation, I think it was like at the beginning of last year or the year before that or something like that or whatever. And I was like, bro, you about to take off. And I was just feeling all of this energy. I remember telling you that or whatever. And it's literally happened, bro. So I'm super proud of you, bro. Keep rocking and rolling out there. And guys, like, if y'all want to rock with Jamal as well, he's a great guy. I can vouch for him. If y'all trying to rock with my guy Jamal, definitely check out the links in the description of this video. Likely after this video actually posts to YouTube, I'm going to drop his links in the pinned comment down below. So definitely check it out. And you can join his free, everybody loves free masterclass. I've got the link on the screen down below right now. Definitely check it out. And it's down below in the description section already. So definitely check it out. It's absolutely free. Come get some of this free sauce. My man is very well educated in Airbnb, Turo, wholesaling. It's a wholesaler masterclass. I'm just throwing that out there. I know that but you know what I'm saying? I'm sure that, there's other ways to pick his brain and stuff like that or whatever. So, man, I think that's about it, man. This has been a great one, bro. This has been a great one. I do appreciate you coming on. Any last thoughts, my brother?
I appreciate you for having me, man. This has definitely been helpful for me, and you get me on my box, me talking a little bit more. So you always, you always tell me like, more, man, this is what you should be doing. So
hey, bro, you got to get out here, bro.
Yeah, so that's me getting like everybody that said like doing something out their comfort zone. This is totally like me being out of my comfort zone, like So this is everything.
My man's. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, bro. And I would also say, man, there's also a link down below to Jamal's YouTube channel. There's not much content on there yet, man, but go ahead and hook my guy up. You feel me? Go ahead and hook him up with the Ed Hayes special one time for me, y'all. If y'all appreciate me, go and subscribe to my guy Jamal's channel one time, man. I'm sure he got some bangers coming for y'all. I really mean that. If y'all appreciated the gems that he came with in this session, just wait until he starts posting content on his channel. It's gonna go bananas. I promise you that, man. So all
that car talk, all the Airbnb talk, all the business talk, all that stuff. Y'all trying to see all that? Tap
for free. For free. So make sure that y'all hit that link down below, man. Anyway, though, guys, man, I hope that y'all staying healthy and staying blessed as always, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. So Until next time, guys. We are hosts.
Peace.
Hey, my peeps. All right.